Well, we don't know yet if we want to sit or if we want to stand. It's probably for the energy level, it's better if we stand, and we want to be short because we have had a exciting 1.5 days. So thank you so much for staying with us. We just had another wonderful panel, and we thought that when we were talking to each other this morning, me talking again to you all alone, that might not be so fun. So we do this in tandem. So my question to Yusuf is the same. Is a little bit, what do you take away from these 1.5 days? What do you put? I mean, I like this image. We all have these backpacks, right? And what do you put into the backpack? What are the 3 things that you put into the backpack? You go back home to Kigali, you open the backpack, and what you take out of the backpack, what are the lessons learned? What are the 2, 3 things that make you excited, nervous, whatever? With respect, of course, to the topic of the conference that we had.
Yeah, thank you, Johannes. One is, when I was coming here, I didn't know what to expect. I remember when we were discussing this while arranging this meeting, we thought it would be very light. It would be like a very light beginning that will build on to move forward. To be honest, I think my expectations are surpassed big time. So thank you very much, Paris 21, World Bank, IMF, and everyone. The discussions were very good. 2, from the poll we had at the beginning, there was a lot of optimism at the beginning. And in concluding, it seems a lot is possible. A lot is possible. We need to figure out how to move forward in concrete terms and to continue the collaborations. And finally, governance issues came out stronger than I expected. Governance issues came up stronger than I expected. And I think we need to give them more attention as we move forward. So, Johannes, what is your takeaway? And how do we go forward?
Very good. So I still have to, of course, I'm very happy to give my own personal takeaways. Do we still have the, shall we still do the, we asked you at the beginning, you recall the question in terms of, is this AI an opportunity for sustainable development? Yes or no? Would you mind to do it again right now? We are just curious. Last time we had 90%, and we were just curious. And also bear in mind, it's not the same people necessarily, so it's not fully comparable. And we also have this available for the colleagues at the online, right? So they can also vote. So let's see what's happening. The first point I take away is I'm very happy that we had the conference today. We were talking about, is it the right time to have a conversation about AI, data, and for development? Is it the right topic for Paris 21 in the first place? Shouldn't we not? Because it's a little bit at the sideline, arguably, of what we do. But I'm so happy that we did it. The urgency, the importance has been said several times. We had the need to have a conversation about those topics right now has been said by Indermit, replicated by many others. So I'm very happy we did this conference. I'm also very happy that the P in Paris 21 for partnership, we did it in partnership. It's not just just we as a secretariat, but we did it together with the World Bank, we did it together with the IMF and many others who have helped. So I really, really appreciated this, and this is very important. The other thing, the urgency, the need to do it. There is, of course, we heard about the opportunities, we heard about the risks. It reminded me a little bit in terms of also how we think about this. You may have heard that a very famous professor has passed away, unfortunately, Daniel Kahneman. You may know him, the Princeton professor on economics and psychology. And he's very well, his main work was of thinking fast and thinking slow. And it reminded me a little bit what we need to do in this AI field. Thinking fast, thinking slow, and acting fast and acting slow. So it's really possibly even useful to revisit his work from the lens of AI. So that is sort of one takeaway. The second takeaway for me personally is the usefulness. I mean, we see it through the lens for the benefit of national statistical offices all over the world. And the one main thing that I learned, Yusuf, is that the AI systems can be an intermediate between data producers and data users. And Olivier, as he's still around, he reminded me of my first days at Paris 21. And when I looked at this thing, which I had no clue what it actually means, but it says still in our mission, bring together data producers and data users in one room, and magic will happen, and they will talk and impact, and it will work. Based on this, we have failed. It's not working. I mean, it's so complicated to get data users really exciting about what we do. But I'm now convinced that through AI, this bridge, and it has been mentioned by Sam, by Yusuf, by many others. I think Sam, you made the point several times, how eventually AI can help us to bridge the gap between data producers and data users, to unlock the data that is already out there, to the storytelling, the engagement. And I think this is just really fascinating. And last but not least, we are not at the end. We are not at the beginning of the end. We are at the end of the beginning of a conversation. I think we should continue the conversation. That's very important. And we have the World Data Forum coming up, the World Data Forum in Medellin. This is the next big gathering of our community. We have the program committee chair here, Madame Cheida Badi. And we have a wonderful thing that we want to launch, our commitments. So we want that people come to Medellin and make commitments, propose action items. So it's just not an event where you go, enjoy 1.5 days, and then nothing happens. We want that people come with commitments, and we will be working on those commitments. And thanks to some generous startup funding from ULIT, we will be able to propose a few ideas here. And the commitment we would like to do from Paris 21 is to create an informal group of like-minded people like you here, to think further about this topic. To think further about this topic in a way that we would collect examples of what is happening. We see a lot of things already happening in the field, in Rwanda, in Ghana, in terms of using AI for the public good, and using AI technology for producing better data for better lives. So to collect those examples, to also collect research. We also heard a couple of papers that are out there, to collect those, having a knowledge platform, and then in trying to understand what are the determinants of success. Why are in some countries it's happening, why in others not? What can we replicate? What can we learn? Can we produce some guidelines, some good practices, not best practices, good practices, and have this knowledge platform and learning and doing platform linked to the Paris 21. We would be very happy to serve this, and I hope we will find some opportunities to get some funding for this in the future, and so we can continue this dialogue. So with this in mind, my last point is a word of thanks. This 1.5 days wouldn't have happened without the support and the help of many, many people. Again, a big thanks to the organizers, to the World Bank as a host, to all those who have been involved. And I have to give a shout out to 2 colleagues specifically of my team, and this is Susan and Audrey. Can you please join me with a clap of hands for their wonderful work? Also to Craig Hammer, who has been fantastic, and to many of the colleagues in the World Bank working in the back, as well as to my own team, and of course to the team of IMF. So with this in mind, I think we have to come to an end.